Hey, 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 welcome back. Welcome back to the Gemini channel. My name is Laura, if you're new to my channel. I'm going to do a general message for Gemini. Know that energy is fluid, rules can be reversed. Just interpret the message as it best resonates with you. Also, know on this channel and on my channels, I like to dive deep within the reading. So I do look at everything, but we take a lot more time to look at the spiritual blocks, the shadows, to see how they play those karmic themes to help you understand why you're attracting that person into your life, why everything is playing out the way that it is. If there's many different realities that play out at one time, why would we want to choose to live a reality that makes us mad, where we're mad all the time? No one wants to live a reality where they're frustrated and mad all the time, right? That life is difficult. Life doesn't need to be difficult, but when people have spiritual blockages, they self-sabotage and they get in their own way and it triggers us because it triggers our wounds. So integrating the spiritual lesson allows you to break that karmic cord. It allows you to shape shift your energy. You're the alchemist of your life. You can actually heal your life. Now, anything of any importance or relevance to the channel, you know where to find it. It's in the description box below. My shadow healing coaching program, if you signed up for it and you haven't gotten a link, while the group is small, we're doing it on Zoom. So please reach out to me and let me know. Sometimes YouTube doesn't notify me. I try to check periodically, but I get caught up in my schedule. So I just want to make sure if anyone signed up and you haven't gotten a link, well, we're on Zoom right now. Once it gets bigger, we will move to, we will move to YouTube. But a little bit more flexibility on Zoom for me right now. I had construction going on, and if I needed to move it, it's just easier. Small group. All right. Let's see what the underlying energy is. Yes, I'm open for readings. Again, everything's in the description box. The underlying energy is unlocked DNA. I love that because sickness and disease is only 5% inherited. So it's actually your habits and your behaviorisms that activate DNA. So a lot of times we get our habits from our ancestors, our family, right? Or we're born into a society. So when we're upgrading our DNA, we're actually making sure that we're not repeating the same self-sabotaging behaviorisms. And when it comes to relationships, we're talking about codependency. That's the energy of here. And I say that narrow-mindedness. Again, people that are codependent are narrow-minded, but people also that have a lot of spiritual blockages are narrow-minded. I believe you are connected to someone that is very narrow-minded. So I feel like you're not giving this person any attention. And they're also not. They're trying to mirror your energy because it's almost like you don't want to entertain this person anymore. Like it's just triggering too much with inside of you. And so again, when we're unlocking DNA, it doesn't necessarily mean that we're consciously aware. It's just the person does things that, kick up all our spiritual blockages. And they are awakening those blockages because they actually even remind you of an energy. And that it could be your mother or your father, someone that likes to get underneath your skin. So past life karmic mates are the connections that when we're upgrading DNA, it means that we're learning the spiritual lesson, that we're integrating the spiritual lesson. So I feel like because you're like kind of on a different trajectory now, like, because that's what I'm getting from this upgrade DNA. So I'm feeling like it's triggering this person. So let's see where they are right now. How do they feel that you've detached? Because really, that's the underlying energy. Well, it's like the spirit saying it's like it's an illusion. So this person, spirit saying, you need to look beyond the romance and everything with this person and look at them for really truly who they are, because they create a lot of illusions. There's no depth to the relationship. They want you to get caught up in the romance and the love and the passion, but they don't want to take the time to actually create those intimate experiences to make the relationship authentic, is what Spirit's saying. So their way is to create a lot of drama in a relationship. So do they think that it's over? No. There's a part of them that's like, oh, we make up to break up. And that's the codependency. The codependency is where one person's an anxious and the other person's an avoidant. Obviously, this person's an avoidant. So it's like, oh, you have a problem with me. Now I'm gonna not talk to you. I'm gonna again gaslight you. I'm gonna stonewall you. I'm gonna make you feel less important, only to come back. And when I come back, it's really passionate. We never really even focus on the whole, the problems within the relationship. It never gets that far. So and that's how this person tends to conduct their relationship, where it's like winds up just after a while, you just feel very not like you don't know like what's happening in the relationship. You kind of feel like you're in a fog. This person like tries to trigger fear and, like all these different emotions to keep you stuck, to make you believe that it would be difficult to find someone else, where really it's like, no, there's the in and out of your life and not talking about problems. This person's continuously abandoning you. So that triggers like major intimacy issues, like with inside of you, because this person's coming in and out, in and out, in and out of your life. That's intimate manipulation that creates actually brain damage, because the person is like kind of like just emotionally manipulating the relationship so that it becomes like more of an attachment style relationship, which is extremely toxic, like a trauma bond relationship. So, where Spirit's saying it's like after a certain amount of time, you needed to like seek wisdom, like where there's like advice, talk to people like you should have, because this person tried to keep the environment, well, gaslit the environment. When a person gaslights the environment, they're doing so to control. But control for what? So that, it's a one-sided connection. And that's really what it is. That's the hidden thorns, the hidden intentions. Like, I want to be with you, but I don't really want to do the work that it would take. It's too many issues, too many spiritual blockages that they have from previous relationships that they don't want to deal with that. So they're just going to walk around broken and go from relationship to relationship to relationship, never really being able to give, because they're fragmented, but then taking what they can take in a relationship. And again, making the person feel obligated or guilty, where it's again on, off, on, off. Like you get the relationship's all about drama, because this person doesn't really have a sense of self, is what I feel. It's like they might spend all their time hooking up, or like doing drugs or doing something that you don't really like know. I just feel like for this person, um, you've gotten to a place within the relationship that you didn't think that it was like they didn't invest enough time into you to really know whether it was enough to like restore the connection. This person thought that they were going to keep it so surface and kind of keep you stuck with their games that, you know, that you're going to be swept away in the relationship, not noticing that they're just being controlling. That the relationship, like I said, never gets any depth. It's all about drama. It's all about control. It's all about passion. but it's like there's too many barriers, like to love for this person to really let you in until they actually heal. So their idea of what love is and your idea of lovers are two different things. Like they always have hidden motives. And because they don't really want you to know, they want you to get caught up more in the passion, more in the fantasy. So again, the relationship would never have strong roots. They're extremely childish. Again, love blocks. And so that's the issue. It's like who wants to be in a surface relationship? Nobody. This person, like, it would be all about the sex. It would be all about that because there's a lot of passion, but they don't want to do the work that a relationship takes to build strong roots so that, listen, hey, it's 5 months down the line, a year down the line, however long, like it's not that you're not attracted to the person anymore, but it's not all about that. You get comfortable with the person, and if you go back to your original rhythm, this person doesn't have an original rhythm. It's like they never get deep in a relationship. It's all about manipulating. Manipulating, like, to do what they want to do when they want to do it so that you're consumed with inside of them. So you're not really creating anything, but it takes a lot of energy for a person to do that. So you have to say, where is their hobby? Where is their interest? Where are they spending time? Because they're not healing themselves, they're not going back, and they're never changing. So those wounds are still there. And so this person's way is all about manipulating you so they could get what they want, which is, again, I want to be connected to you and I want what I want, but I don't really want to do what it takes to, be with you, and to give you what you deserve. And that's really what a codependent relationship is. Sometimes when people, like, they know already, but when a person settles for less, it's like, well, I have a really strong connection. That's my person. Well, it's not a person that if they're not giving you anything. A person is not your person if they're making you feel bad, if they're making you question like how valued you are. They're not your person. That's a karmic person. And they're going to read to you by how you what you allow, right? It's again, that's how they're reading you. And so codependent people, it's all about utilizing the other person's energy. That's what codependency is. It's like, I don't believe I'm enough, so I'm relying on something on this person. Maybe it's their identity. Again, maybe a person doesn't like who they are and they like who they're with. Again, I like their identity or their money. I can't support myself, but I'm with someone that can support me. Or whatever it is, usually one person's trading an emotional fulfillment and that stability, that consistency, almost like attracting a mother, like a motherly type, or someone that's going to be like a doer and that's there, but it's giving up their life. They don't have an identity. Their identity is that other person. So that's what it looks like. This person is used to that, those type of relationships where it's all about them and getting what they want. When a person gets what they want, they don't really think about you. They're not, like relationships is something that happens over time. Trust is something that happens over time. So when a person's consistent and they keep showing up for you on an emotional level, this person doesn't. So it's like eventually it is about betrayal because someone betrayed them at one time, so they don't know how to be intimate. They don't do the healing. They only go surface, and when it's surface, like I'm not really thinking about you. It's like, oh hell, I want you to fall head over heels for me, but this person's too busy strategizing to try to get what they want instead of actually being in a relationship because they don't really believe that they belong anywhere. They feel inadequate. So, I mean, this person is either getting what they want or they're stressed out in trying to control to get what they want. So, that's what the issue is. This person really needs to heal their trauma. You want to know what they're doing right now? Well, it's again, this is all your fault that they're not talking to you, so they're the victim. But you better believe that they're feeding their addictions and they're in their impulsive energy because they don't feel good. So when a person doesn't feel good because of those inner child wounds that they refuse to heal, well, the inner child wounds are like have habits and behaviorisms, and that person is very compulsive and all the while creating illusions like everything is great and that they're perfect, but no, they're suppressing their emotions with food. They're angry. They're jealous because it's like, well, if you're not talking to them, who are you talking to? It's making them feel very uncomfortable. It's making them feel empty because guess what? They're empty to begin with, and you're holding them accountable, so they feel a little bit intimidated. And again, what they're doing is they're just sitting in like karmic contract is what they want. Codependency. That's their focus. So person that's like focused on a karmic contract, or will they be obsessive? Yes. They consider like you as they own you. So that's why they're jealous, they're angry. Like you're not allowed your own identity with this person. They know what you would want. They don't want to give you what you want, but they don't want to let you go either. And they're empty. They're not focusing on creating themselves here. What I see is again, it's all about them not doing the healing work and just projecting, manipulating. Yeah, they're saying that they're not getting what they want, but they're still going to take risks because that's who this person is. There's someone that's just imbalanced. So that's the issue. It's like as long as they don't heal, this is the energy. So it's like, will they come back? Yeah, but it's all about control. Like they'll say whatever they have to say to be with you, but there it's not going to be deep. They're still going to wind up betraying you because they don't form that emotional depth. They're not capable until they heal themselves, Spirit's saying. So is that what they know? They're not conscious of it, and understand that. This person feels that you're a connection, you know, but understand they want to fix things, but there is a part of them that does want that, but they don't do what it takes, which is communicate. Instead, they give you the silent treatment because they don't know how to deal with it. It's like they don't know how to fix it because they're too busy hiding behind their ego and their pride. They thought that this was in the bag for a long time, and that's really what it is. This person's been trying to work up the courage to contact you for a long time because it's not like they don't have feelings for you, but it's more obsessive. So it's like they feel like again the constant reminders because hey, you're the one that got away. It's like this person, wants what they want, but they have too many unhealthy habits and behaviorisms that until they heal, that's what it's going to be. Those are always going to take precedence over the relationship. Oh, they'll fight to get you into their life. They'll tell you whatever it is that they need to tell you. But again, it's like they're not healed enough for the relationship. So yeah, they'll come back, but you'll get more of the same, is what Spirit's saying. So I'm gonna put a beware on it. You're the alchemist of your life, but if the person really wasn't good to you, you probably don't need for me to tell you not to go back to them. A person's still gonna act like they're aloof and always in search for somebody else and want to be seen as superior. You're always going to feel like they don't really care that much because remember, they don't go deep. They keep it surface. And then, you don't feel like the person's fully connected to you. So it's easy for them to cheat. But then they want to be treated as if they're a king or queen, like while they're not giving you anything. So Spirit's saying it's like this would be an unhealthy habit and attachment if you stayed connected to them. It would be a trauma bond. So being that you whatever it says here, like which I feel like this person is going to come back, it's up to you. You don't take this person back, you're upgrading your DNA. If you take this person back, you're going into like you're continuing of an ancestral karmic pattern of, toxic trauma bond relationship where this person would not even let you have an identity. Again, it's all about what they want when they want it, and it's one-sided. So we have to say, why did you attract this person into your life? Because we want to integrate the spiritual lesson. We're going to pull six. So we always look at the inner child wounds to say, hey, where did this come from? Why did I attract this person into my life? What am I supposed to be learning here? Why would the universe bring me this toxic person into my life? Does the universe not love me? No, the universe always brings you what you need to help you restore your energy back to the energy of unconditional love. That to restore your energy back to your original energy, which is the same energy as God. There's no separation. We have spirit inside of us. Spirit's actually everywhere. It's omnipresent, it's omniscience, and omnipotent, which is everywhere all the time. So that energy is inside of us. There's no separation. However, we live experiences that make us feel like we can't have, that keep us stuck in a bad energy. Obviously, being connected to someone like this is so this person would be a bad energy. We have to say why. There's always a reason. Once you integrate the spiritual lesson, you understand how you are contributing to those energies. That's what you're doing. All right, so let's see. We don't mean to contribute to the energy, we do so unconsciously. So once we become conscious, we're able to actually, turn that energy into something, do something with that energy. So, rage, rage, sing, rebellious, water, optimism, sing. So I feel like, you know, growing up in an environment with a very angry person, someone not just the way that they handled life, it was anxiety. But anxiety a lot of times looks like anger, and it's very scary because the person's like freaking out, and and so they are responding. But again, there's only two energies, love and fear. And when there's a lot of fear, a person will have a lot of rage, a lot of anger. And I feel like you grew up in an environment where a person was like always angry, and they projected that a lot. So if you needed to do something, you had to do it like kind of a little bit in a rebellious way because, hey, this person was always in a bad mood and the answer was always no. They tended to project that energy. So it was just easier either not to ask them, to not to include them, and if they found out whatever, they'd yell at you, but it was like, who cares? But it affected your identity. That second chakra is the water element, right? That's our passion, our individuality, how well we can go with the flow of life, the passion for life. Where do we lose ourselves? If we are so constricted by a parent that's angry all the time, well, now we can't just go with the flow of life. We have to actually pay attention to that parent's mood, right? So it affects. We're also not going to feel comfortable to speak our truth, to use our voice, to set boundaries, because guess what? You aren't allowed to. So over time, you just were happy with settling for like less because hey, if you're so restricted and you don't even want to like deal with that parent, it's like you're not going to ask for anything. You're not going to use your voice to set boundaries. You're not going to. So over time, you're not really going to have an identity. is what Spirit's saying. So you always had like this empathic energy because that's what happens when you grow up in an environment with a parent also that if you grew up with a parent that had a lot of anxiety, well, that parent is sensitive, and so you would inherit sensitivity from that parent. But also the environment of being around a very angry person that was rageful all the time is also going to make you very sensitive. You're going to become hypersensitive to the environment as a way to protect yourself. So you become empathic, which gives you cleansing like capabilities, like which are just healing. So it's like you can deal with that chaotic environment because you grew up in it. But does that mean that you're supposed to? No, Spirit says. It's like you attracted this energy because there's not enough new life. It's like because you were restricted. So this is about letting go of the version that you were told who you are, right? When a rageful parent is yelling at you, they're telling you pretty much who you are, what you can have, what you can't, whether they're consciously doing it or not. But then the perception is that we're that person, but have we lived a lot? No. Have we experienced a lot? No. We're basing our life on very limited experiences. So Spirit says you have to let go of who you once were. Like let go of the past, so become who you are. This the relationship was to help you transform. Yes, it's about having unshakable faith. It's like, when we're on our soul's path creating, we don't know whether it's going to work out or not. We don't know how God is going to work through the universe to bring us what we need to be successful, to pay our bills, to have that loving relationship. We don't know, but we have to be confident enough within ourselves. So when you transform that negative energy, you're able to because it's like you're alchemizing the energy. You're the alchemist of your life. So Spirit is saying again, you got to use your passions to not get swayed from life. Your passions will emotionally fulfill you. When you meet a person like this, they were someone that was going to emotionally manipulate you. But they wouldn't be able to emotionally manipulate you if you're using, again, your passions to fight for what you believe in, what's right for you. You have to, again, do that for yourself. And a lot of times we have to initiate that. So we say, oh, I grew up in an environment where a parent made me feel like I wasn't like allowed to have those things, and now I'm attracting a person that does the same thing. Spirit says you have to get up and take greatness. Don't ask for it. So it's again like and the way that we do it is we focus on what it is that we want, the passions. And so you're able to do that when you go through an initiation like this. That's what it is because you have a choice. You could either stay, suppressed and oppressed and have somebody else utilize their energy, your energy rather, by emotionally manipulating you, or you can again, like let it go, transform that energy, alchemize that energy, and then stand your ground. So take time out, Spirit says, again, but create the sacred space because you always have to tap into the higher self. The higher self is that God part of self that only gives you that divine guidance in the moment, in the now. But we have to train ourselves to listen. We have to be confident enough to act on it. So when we take again that time out to form that relationship with God, with our through our higher self, well, Spirit says then you're able to again stand your ground because we're not supposed to stay in negative energy. Spiritual blockages that happened in childhood, they don't just dissipate or go away or leave. We need to integrate them. Otherwise, that residue from that emotional energy winds up like bleeding onto new experiences, attracting people that do the same exact hurtful things that we had experienced, and not, and I say, well, am I deserving of it? Of why is this happening? Am I not loved? When really it's all about learning to love yourself. We find our passion by filling up our own cup and forming that real, true relationship with our higher self, that God part of self. And we can do that through, again, becoming ourselves. It's an actual walk, it's a faith walk that allows you to connect to different people and situations and experiences that makes a way where there is no way just for you. So sometimes we can meet somebody and really feel like we have a connection with them and then realize that they're toxic and spirit saying, you have an opportunity here to take the road less traveled. It's like, yeah, you might have, I wanted the relationship, but you will get the emotional support a lot more fulfilling in taking the road less traveled instead of just going with a relationship and settling for less. This relationship was only happened to help you alchemize those spiritual blockages that make you feel separate from your creator, from that energy of unconditional love. When we feel like, oh, in my life, I'm not manifesting the life experiences that I want. I can't have them. Well, we can have whatever we want, but we have to understand why we're creating the reality that we're creating. Uh, Two fell out. I feel like I should take them, but I don't. I usually like to pull at least one, so I'm going to, because I don't believe in mistakes. I just don't believe in it. It's like everything happens for a reason, including those cards falling on the ground. Okay. So Spirit says these are for you. And that's true because it's like, look, elevation, free yourself from fear and trust the universe. Direct your thoughts to the beauty inside and around you. Use your spiritual strength and knowledge to create light and rise above all doubt. So, again, in order to elevate, to upgrade your DNA, well, it's to break those karmic cycles, which are created from your ancestors. And a lot of times, again, their environment would taught them what they had to have. With those spirits saying, let it go of who you believed you were and finally become who you truly are because you have the wisdom that God has a plan for you. Be here and now, meaning only in the now do you get divine guidance. No beauty is to come. Don't force things to happen faster than the universe has decided. Understand everything's happening in divine time, that learn from your experiences, take small steps in faith, and know that you're going to succeed. All the effort that you put into whatever is how much love that you're pouring into something, the universe seeing that even if you're not seeing the fruits of your labor yet, you have to be in a place of faith. So that's also probably why this person came in now, because it's like, hey, they would have taken you right off, your path. And Spirit says, no, it's choose serenity. It was for you to choose that peace and that serenity. Don't let anyone disturb your peace right now. Serenity through love. Release and inner work, no peace. Have a gentle view of life and welcome every step with confidence. Remain brave in the face of fear and have wisdom to let the universe do its work, meaning everything is happening the way that it should, and that the good things that you're pouring your energy into are going to manifest. It's like just as long as you didn't get caught up in this BS, which bravo, you didn't, which means you activate DNA, but that's because you're going to experience riches and other things that the universe is going to, again, bless you, is what that's saying. It's saying because you upgraded your DNA, because you chose you. You broke that ancestral karma, that family karma, and that's what you needed to do. I'm going to leave that there, Gemini. I love you. You let me know how you resonated, and you uh, just let me know. I'll talk to you soon. Bye bye.